What started as a group of girls stuck sitting in the front row together in PT school became a friendship full of laughs, cries, and of course, endless studying. We wanted to start this podcast to talk about all things PT and share our passion for the profession as well as the trials and tribulations that come with it. We're happy you're here and happy to share.
Welcome to the PT Buds podcast. Here we have President Pat, Patricia Martin, soon to be Patricia Barnhart, unless she's not changing.
It's up for debate.
Is it really?
Well, I'm just kind of lazy and I don't want to change it.
That does sound like a lot of work.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's talk about yourself. Tell us about, where you're working. How was your role as President Pat for our graduating class of 2023? Let us know.
Yeah, I am in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I am at a Vera McKinnon hospital, so I work acute, which is a big switch up from everyone else. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people on the pod. So I work full-time acutes at the level 2 trauma center, so it's like a fairly big hospital. I love it. I love the speed of it, so that's fun. And let's see, what other fun facts about me? I was president for the lovely PT class. It was good. It was really challenging, and it was really fun.
Fab 50?
The Fab 50, yes. That turned into, I think, the
45?
The Fab 50. I was at 48, 49, I'm not really sure. But yeah, so it was really fun. And I feel like I got to like meet everyone on like a different level as the president. So that was always kind of cool. Good and bad, I guess. And yeah.
What made you want to run for president of the PT class? Right? Like this was like first week of school, it's syllabus week, and they're like, okay, he wants to be president.
Yeah, I think I remember calling my mom like the night before I was supposed to like submit. And I was just like, gosh, like, do I run for president? And she's like, I don't know if you like, I don't know, do you want to? And I was like, I think I do. Like, I enjoy like being able to like have a like foot in everything, kind of like I get to do a little bit of everything. I got to like meet and interact with like a lot of people like from a lot of different areas of like our school. And so yeah, I figured I'd go out on a whim, see what happened. And then I ended up winning. It was a really weird election. It was like we voted to like 2 people. And then we had to vote again. And it was all on Zoom. And so it was just like this, like you're sitting there and you were like, gosh, is it going to be me or am I going to get cut? I'm like, I got no idea.
That was probably COVID. The Zoom part was probably COVID. But
yeah.
I do remember the Zoom elections were a little odd.
They were odd.
Yeah. So yeah. And then I think that like kind of like that's why I also like acute care is because I get to like dabble and like interact with so many different people beyond just like my therapy people. So I think kind of lends its way to making it makes sense in my head of like why I chose acute care.
So baseline, Pat likes to be a Jill of all trades.
Yes, Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
she knows what she's doing.
I know.
No.
Like, you're really into running, right? And at one point in your life, or your PT life, you were like, do I want to do a hospital or do I want to work with runners? I remember you really contemplated that.
I had a legit conversation with Bree about this exact topic. Yes.
Yeah. So give us a little insight to your running passion because Pat just did something super duper duper cool.
I did.
So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So I dabble with marathons.
Dabble?
There.
Dabble.
It's a side hobby a little bit. But yeah, like. Yes.
Okay, what was your most recent marathon?
I did recently run the Boston Marathon, which was awesome and a super cool opportunity. And like, I would have never thought like that's where I'd like when I started running, like it was like always a goal, but I never actually thought like, oh, I'll do this in like 5 years. So super cool, super epic. If you ever have the chance to even just like go to spectate, I would go. Super cool. Anyways, so yeah, as we were saying, I chose acutes when I first graduated because I was in Sioux Falls and like there's no like opportunity to do both. And so like even to this day, sometimes I still have like doubts of like, gosh, is that the right decision? And like for right now in my life and where I'm at, I love it. Bree's not wrong, and that I have had some minor midlife crises.
Everyone has.
Where I'm like, oh my gosh, have I made the right decision? Should I be doing outpatient? I love running. Should I be a running PT? But then, like, I also have to like take a breath and take a minute and be like, no, like I enjoy where I'm at right now. Like it fits my life, and it's okay to just like be content with that. I think there's like parts of me. I think it's really easy to do in PT where you compare yourself to like everyone else and what everyone else is doing, and it's so easy to get caught up in it. But like you gotta just remember where you're at and like what's good for your life right now. And for me, like where I'm at is it's perfect. Like I love it. So yeah.
Man, I miss you, friend. I miss you so. Like you just say things like that just sit so well.
This just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard. People are like, oh, I've done acute for so long. I've done outpatient for so long. I can't switch. It's going to be hard, but you eventually can if you want to. Like, it's not impossible. And I think a lot of people think if they've been in a setting for a long time, they just have to stick with it because that's what their experience is in. And that's not true at all.
Yeah. And it's like something that I feel like I don't battle it. I think my first year, it was really hard because I was like seeing all of you guys do all your outpatient stuff. And I was like seeing XYZ get dry needled. And then like Brooke's going to open up her own clinic. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to miss out? And I'm like, and then Bree lovingly is like, you should come to the running whatever seminar. And I was like, I want to go to the running seminar. But it's just like, it's like such a hard check, but I think it's something that like you have to do. Otherwise you're going to drive yourself insane. Like, I think I was driving myself a little bit insane.
Yeah.
And Kate insane as well. Because I was talking about it all the time.
Yeah. But that's the nice thing. The running seminar in Utah, it's every year. So like, if you decide you want to switch later, go to the running seminar that year. Or not. Mm-hmm. But it's a yearly thing.
Exactly. And so it's like, yeah, I just think it's, especially like a new grad, and I think you guys talked about this on another podcast of like, I think it was Grace brought up, like, we like make goals in PT school, and it was like, oh, like, what are you going to be and what are you going to be doing in 2 years, 5 years? And so which is good that they want us to like have these goals, but I think it also like puts us in this box of like, oh, if you're not achieving XYZ in 2 years, like, are you really a good therapist? And like, no, like that's not actually the case. So,
and I almost wonder, like we could sometimes talk about like not making our hobbies also our career, too. Like you love running, you love what you're doing, but like comparison game always happens, and so now you're working on all these runners, and then I don't know, you get afraid that you get burnt out on your passion then too. Even though you would love to work to a point with runners, you don't want to lose your passion and your escape, really.
Yeah. Because like I have one of my good friends in Sioux Falls is like a running PT, and so like she's my PT here. Like I go to see her. She's the reason I like even made it to the start line in Boston.
She's amazing. I met her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. And you'll meet her again. But yeah, I like talked to her, and she's like, it's running all the time, which like she loves it. But yeah, you gotta wonder, Brooke, like, do things get too close sometimes? And like, yeah, it's just not always what you need.
Mm-hmm. Which is sometimes nice about travel PT too, because as a new grad, like you can in different settings to see if you like, which is kind of fun to experiment on. Because you can always do that too. Job, you don't have to straight from new grad to travel. You can have a job for a few years or so and then do something else.
Nikki's just casually walking her baby and on a podcast. Nothing like the fit mom life. But speaking of fit, I have to go because I have a grass volleyball league game.
Woo! Go in.
Have fun. Good
I
luck.
really want to play like 80 degrees outside, but I'm playing with another PT who's my friend. So, let this be a little thing on the podcast to get out, enjoy the sun, even if you don't want to. But I needed to hop on in the beginning because I just love President Pat so much. And
So good to see you. So good to see you. I'm gonna come I'm coming to Billings so you can teach me how to throw the clay.
Throw the clay.
just like that.
Watch the video. Throw the clay.
Yeah, you guys have fun. I'll see you next month, Pat.
Next month.
Good luck. Play hard.
Here we go.
Yeah, she's planning for a wedding too. She is the Jill of all trades. Okay, bye. Love you.
Okay, so that's actually transitioning, Patricia. Tell us about how you juggle the life balance, how you did it in PT school. You were President Pat, which came with a lot of different jobs and roles. You were still running in PT school. You were making time to do all the other extracurriculars. How did that look like for you in PT school? And then how does it look like now, post PT school, with your working, you're running, you're planning a wedding, you also volunteer and take a little kiddo out weekly, which I love that you do that. You can talk more about that because I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, how do you do it? How do you do it all? Or how do you not do it?
No, I don't know. I think it's like when I in PT school, it obviously the beginning was really it was a lot. It was like a lot, and it wasn't very pretty. And I didn't have any good boundaries with anything. And so I feel like when people do struggle with this, it's there's no boundaries built in. And so as I transitioned into a working person, I think again initially it's really hard to set the boundaries, but now I feel like I have better boundaries of when I think about things at work, when I don't, and then when I have other stuff. I'm really bad about the wedding though. The wedding is horrible. The wedding is all consuming, and I'm constantly getting emails, and there's no boundaries. But that's why I struggle. That's why the wedding's been so much, because I don't have any boundaries with it.
Well, you're also getting married. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I know.
That one's okay to not have as good boundaries.
Yeah. But I think that's I think when I find myself struggling with it, it's when I don't have boundaries to it. And I don't have a break. I don't know, sometimes the running becomes too much, and then I have to take a break, and I don't know if there is a perfect good way to do it. But boundaries and balance, which is I don't know how you find all that all the time. I don't know how I don't think I do it. I know I don't do it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a good answer. I don't think it is, because it didn't really give an answer.
Whatever your answer is good regardless, because I think it's good to know that from the outward perspective of us watching you, we're she's
doing it all. She's killing it.
Yeah, but to you it's just not as simple, but as simple as just knowing boundaries, which is it's not simple, but it's simple. That's, you know what I mean? Kind of rambling. But.
What would you say your thing is? Because I always know trigger wise, you're overwhelmed. What is for you oh man, pause, I'm overwhelmed? What's the first thing you go to drop or do when you're overwhelmed?
This is probably, I could give you the proper answer, or I could give you the real answer.
Raw and real.
The raw and real one.
I think this morning, for instance, I'm getting a lot of emails with the wedding. There's a lot of things moving. I was supposed to work out, and so then I just didn't work out, which is fine, because it's a little bit of a balance of I need to address some wedding stuff so I can actually feel calm when I get home. Mm-hmm. So then it's I feel it's just an ebb and flow. It's something's got to give, which I think is what I think we struggle with as humans in general. Is you guys look at me maybe and they're oh wow, Pat is just look at Pat, and I look at you guys and I'm wow, look at these guys. they went and like hiked to this massive Kilimanjaro mountain, and Brooke is starting her own clinic, and they're all traveling, and Nikki started a family, and I'm just like, oh my God, what else am I supposed to be doing? Like, what am I missing?
Isn't
so,
that amazing? Like the comparison,
yes.
how it steals our joy. Like we're, and like, I think about we're letting it steal our joy, but we should also be like, hey, Pat, you are killing it. Like, I am so admiring you right now. But instead, we'll be like, what else do I need to do?
Yeah.
Even though we're all like doing,
We're all doing our own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's just like so, and I think like social media and like everything like that has made it like that much harder. But yeah, it's so funny because I look at you guys and I'm like, oh my God, my friends are so cool. Like, look at all these things they're doing. And it, like, there's no like self-reflection of like, oh, like what you're also doing is like pretty good too.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what I mean? So it's just like such a weird, I don't know.
well,
yeah,
we
I feel
will tell
like-
you are killing it.
Yeah.
Boston, amazing.
I just bragged about you that whole day.
We literally tell everyone at the clinic, we have a friend that ran in Boston.
Like, she's running. I'm tracking my friend. 1 hour later, my next patient, I have a friend running. The next
You're
hour.
like, I know, like dinging.
Yeah. And then like, she's done. Look. No.
And it's just like this little dot that just like moves slowly.
No,
You're like,
man, your
wow.
case is so good. And you did it while being kind of injured, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
I would say to my fellow PT is that I did not strength train enough, and I knew I didn't. And I know that's what caused part of it. But it's like funny because like as PTs, like we know so much and we know what we're supposed to do, and we know what like the perfect little like setup is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just am not a great patient, and I just can admit that. So.
Weird. Ange. She has a similar story.
Well, I'm gonna see someone this week for my
If you are
previous
PT
injuries.
listening and working through an injury, go see another PT now.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's something that we don't actually talk about in school. Like we just think that we're gonna like be able to self-treat ourselves for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
But like the moment I like just stopped and I was just like, hey, I actually need help. Oh my God. I was like, this is amazing.
I know.
Why did I not do this sooner?
I need someone to like yell at me to do my exercises. It's probably it. Yeah.
How about the person sitting next to you? Ange?
No, that's
She looks like she can yell at you too.
I already passed her off to someone else. We tried to lift last night and run.
fine.
But you were like, not very much weight.
I could have done more. I just okay. But I was kind of lazy yesterday. I did more weight when I worked out by myself last week.
Yeah.
And then I was really sore. I'm not too sore today, which means I know I didn't push it though.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. But I think that's really important to not for us to be on the other side. Of course, we don't want to be injured, but like it does give you a really good perspective on like what our patients go through. And yeah, I feel like maybe people should mock that more, you know?
Well, I think it goes back to we always try to do it all. Like, I think that's very much a personality of PTs of like, we're just going to take care of it all versus like, it's so nice to have someone tell you what to do. Like that, show up to the gym and not have to think of it yourself or correct your own form and like remembering we don't have to do it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Especially like we tell our patients not to fixate on like what the true diagnosis could be. Of course, it's important to know like what's going on because there are some things that would guide your treatment, but sometimes it doesn't, you know? And so sometimes it's nice to have someone to just tell you that. Say like, hey, yes, per imaging, this is what's going on. It's not going to change what we do. And I feel like that gives, personally for me, a little peace of mind with like whatever injuries I have right now. I just need someone to tell me that, like, so what that knee is X, Y, Z, it'll be fine, you know? And so hearing that kind of helps me vocalize that better to my patients, I've found within like the past month or so, and just like explaining that to them. I think that's really helped me.
When we ask our patients to ask for help like all the time, and if we can't ask for help ourselves, like what good are we?
Yeah.
Like to them too. in like that regard, I guess. But
yeah. We got 10 minutes. We're back to our free Zoom call, which means this episode will definitely not be 40 minutes. If you listened to our previous one, we are really glad that you did, but we apologize if it was too long. We didn't have someone yelling at us that we were out of free Zoom and needed to upgrade. So, but yeah, do you have any lasting thoughts or words, Pat? It's okay to say no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Did we?
Can I make it? Can I make? Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, go, Pat.
Oh, I was gonna make a plug for acute care therapists because I feel like we don't get them out.
Yes,
do it.
So, okay, so like when I started PT school, I didn't really know where I was gonna go. I had no idea, and then I did my like first little like ICE rotation where you just like do a little bit, and I really liked acute care. No one else really did in like our class, which made me nervous. And of course, again, you go back to like comparison game and you start to second guess yourself. I did my clinical rotation and I absolutely loved it. And so I feel like it's one of those fields where like it's not the most glamorous PT, but like I get to be in like a little bit of a light, like on some of people's like darkest days, because like the hospital is obviously not where everyone wants to be. So like if you're like even thinking about going into acute care or like doing part acutes, part outpatient, like know there's like such a need, and like these patients like appreciate your time so much because like they go and they're in the hospital and they have nurses coming in and out all day, and their nurses are fabulous, and their providers get to come and check in on them like once or twice a day maybe. Again, they're fabulous, but they're also stretched too thin. But as like a therapist, like I can go in there for like 30 to 40 minutes and like just be with them, and you get to make just such an impact on their stay. Like it's just, again, not the most glamorous, but you get to like then work with like nursing and like case management and social workers and the providers and like their family, and like it's just, I really really enjoy like where I'm at right now. Don't love the holidays and weekends, hand up, but everything besides that is like really fun. So there's my plug for acute care.
I love that.
You have like in acute care, you bring such a different interaction to your patients than they have with anybody else in the hospital, and that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to people who talk about interprofessional healthcare, acute, you gotta have it. And so if that's something that you love to do, working with other providers, like you said, Patricia, like you work with all of them. And that was something too that when I was on my acute clinical, I didn't really think about that. Like, oh, yes, I need to communicate with the social worker. You think like, oh yeah, PT, OT, nursing, physicians, but like for some, sorry, social work. My sister's a social worker. You guys are awesome. But it didn't cross my mind, and so you're definitely, and then there's palliative care, there's other like floors, ICU, gen med, surge. That's acute is where you can get the interprofessional disciplinary care. Wow, such a big word, but
good job.
Yeah. So
keep plugging.
It's just like, I don't know, and you see so many different things, and you see so many like different conditions and different like situations, and like we play such a huge factor in like leading discharge and like where these patients are going afterwards, like what they need, who they need to see. Like we provide so much like insight to that. Like a provider can't tell that when they go and see the patient like laying in the bed at bedside. Like they have no clue what they need afterwards, besides obviously the medical stuff, but like how are they going to get home? No one knows until we go in there. And it's just like, it's so cool to have such a like big impact in something that like seems like somewhat simple to us, but like makes such a huge difference in like where the patient goes and like what they get. So
yeah, thanks for your plug. I don't think you're wrong though. In our class of 49, 3 people that I know of for sure are in acute, not including those that did it through traveling. So thank you for being those PTs for us. Yeah.
Did I miss it? Do you have, what's your next running goal?
I don't have one yet. I might run. There's a race in Denver. I might run with my sister. A half.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I can see you doing like the pre-wedding run. Have you seen videos when people like just like run with the bride?
I don't think I'm gonna have time though. I think the day starts like at 9 a.m.
Well, if you want to do one on Friday, we took the day off. Well, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, we could do a Friday.
You can do a Friday evening one if you want.
I love how Ange looks at Brooke like, "Hey, boss, like, are we off that day?" Like,
just confirming with my boss.
We will find a way to fit in a run.
Yes.
oh my gosh, we might have to.
Pace? No.
But
when we trained for the Bismarck, you did the marathon, we did the half. We made sure we were running at the same time, and in that tiny park, we would cross paths and wave.
I love it. No, we might have to organize something, or we cannot. We don't have to. Like, I'll be okay either way.
We don't have to add more.
No.
Also,
only if it's gonna help you.
Yeah.
Also, that,
only if it's gonna help you.
We'll evaluate like a week before. And then we'll
Okay.
see how I'm doing.
If you're overwhelmed, no worries.
Yeah.
We'll see. I could be cool with cucumber.
What is the pre-party thing
On Friday.
on Friday? We
Welcome.
can be like, time to go run around the block, and we'll do a quick run around the block, and then come back to the party.
Yeah, we'll just like leave everyone and be like,
Exactly.
Patricia just needs some time.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a quick lap.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to see you in person next month. Thank you.
I'm so excited to see you guys.
Yes. Thanks for taking the time in your busy schedule to say hi.
Thank you guys for doing this. Like, pretty awesome. Like, honestly, like, I know we don't have any time left, but like, so cool. Like, something I think everyone like wants to do and talks about doing, but you guys are like walking the walk. So,
Well, 2 years later, we're trying to walk the walk.
it's fine.
But yes. Okay, well, thank you guys again, PT Buds. We'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Stay tuned. Might be a week, might be a month. Hopefully soon.